A Bright Dawn and a Shiny Christmas. Read by Switch Diablo. Read by Switch Diablo. It has been a few months since Opaline Arcana's defeat, and winter has arrived to Equestria. And Mirtam Bay was preparing for Winter Wish Day holiday. Sunny and her friends were so excited about the holiday. But one of her friends who wasn't sure about the holiday, and it was Misty Brightdawn. This would have been the first holiday she would celebrate with her friends since they defeated Opaline. She didn't have the same holiday spirit, and the holiday was only 7 days away. Is everything prepared for the holiday? Asked Sunny. Yep, everything is prepared and all the decorations are up and the lights too, said Pip. I think we are finished with the most of it, said Zip. I agreed. The last of the food and sweets, but we'll do that the day before. Misty was sitting on her bed reading a book when the others were talking about it. She was enjoying the book when she heard some pony walked up to her bed and she saw it was Izzy. Hey Izzy, you need something? No, I came to see if you wanted to come down to us. Thanks, I just want to finish this chapter first. Okay, come down when you're finished. Izzy walked downstairs to the others while Misty continued to read the book, and even after she felt happy, she didn't have the same spirit as her friends. As Misty sat up in her bed, looked out the window, she saw it was snowing lightly outside, and the ground was covered in a white cover. She went downstairs to her friends who were talking about the holiday, what they wanted to do to make their own traditions. Misty thought that she wanted to get some fresh air when her friend saw that she was about to leave. Misty, where are you going? Asked Zip. Oh, I thought just leaving to get some fresh air. I will join you since I'm heading off to the saloon myself to talk to Rocky and Jazz, said Pip. Pip got dressed and she left the Crystal Bright house with Misty. They were small talking about the holiday and when they were at the saloon. You wanna come in? Maybe we can give you a new main style. Thanks, but maybe next time. I get it. I will see you later at home. Misty nodded and continued her walk. She saw how other ponies was preparing for the holiday would have the singing some songs and selling some hot cocoa or hot tea. She was feeling a bit left out, since she never celebrated the holiday while she was living with Opaline. That was the main cause of her not having the same spirit, even seeing her friends in such good spirit. She couldn't feel the same, so she wasn't sure if she ever would get the same spirit as her friends. After being in the cold for a while, Misty returned home and sat there near the open fire with Sparky was next to her. Sparky, I can see you're excited about this holiday. After all, it is his first Winter Witch Day. Oh, Hitch, I didn't know you were here. Hitch came from the kitchen with a tray of 3 cups, and he sat down next to Sparky. I thought you wanted some hot cocoa to warm up. Thanks, I appreciate it, and I bet Sparky loves it too. That he does, he has a sweet tooth. Both Misty and Hitch laughed about it, and both sat inside for a while just warming up by the fire. There were another thing about on her mind, and that was Hitch. Ever since their time to Starlight Ridge, when she and Hitch were holding Spark between them while they were ice skating, she fell in love with him. She hasn't told any pony, and she thought of telling him soon and give him a special gift. But she didn't know what to give him though. Later after dinner, they all sat in by the open fire and talked. Zip and Hitch were playing chess while Sparky was having some snacks by himself. This holiday will be real special, I can tell you that. I think every holiday will be special, says Pip. Yes, but there is something about this year. It will be something extra special. What do you mean by that? Asked Sunny. I don't know, it's just a feeling I have. I can't explain it. Eventually it was time for them to go to bed, and Misty laid down and she laid awake for a little while longer. She thought to herself, if she would ask someone for advice, but she couldn't ask her friends, she would feel a bit embarrassed. But then it hit her. She could ask her dad. Alphabet might know what to do. The next day, after Misty had lunched with her friends, she was getting ready to go see her dad in Brotherwood. Misty, are you going somewhere? Asked Sunny. Yes, I thought it good to see my dad. Hope you had a good time, and say hello to your dad from us. I will do that. Misty left the Bright house and walked all the way, and after a while she arrived to Brightwood. She greeted the unicorns as she walked to her dad's tea shop. Hello, Misty. I didn't know you were coming. Hey, Dad. I wanted to see where to come to visit you. It's always nice to see you, visit your old dad. Can I have some tea? Of course. A cup of tea is coming right up. Alphabelo prepared a cup of tea for his daughter. When he took a sip of the tea, it made her feel warm right away. This tea really warmed me up. I'm glad to hear that to tell. So tell me, what brings you here? Well, it is something I need to tell you, Dad. Then Mrs. started to tell about that she doesn't feel home in Mere Tampei due to about the big holiday, and that she doesn't feel the same spirit as her friends are. It's due to the fact of Opaline. Alphabet stood silent and listened to his daughter talking, and he didn't say a single word the whole time. It wasn't until Misty was finished when he looked at his daughter. I know the feeling, Misty. When I lost you a long time ago, it didn't feel the same thing either. Without you, the whole thing felt so empty. I didn't know what to do, if I could handle it. But thanks to some friends, they made me celebrate. But I could not stop thinking of you. I was hoping one day you would return, and when I found you again, I swore to never let you go. Dad, I didn't know you went through similar to as me. But don't worry, Misty. You will feel the same spirit as your friends before the holiday. Are you sure about that, Dad? Alphabetto nodded and smiled at his daughter and made some more tea for her. Then she thought to ask him for another advice. When she asked her dad for an advice of that, all he did was smiling to her. Misty, all you have to do is to be honest. Listen to your heart's feeling. But what if he doesn't like me the same way? You won't know that until you tell him about your feelings. I'm a little scared of that to tell him. I know you're, my daughter, is brave. Thanks, Dad. I think I will do that. Alphabetto nodded to his daughter, and Misty stayed at the tea shop for a little while to talk to her dad until she returned home to Mirtan Bay late in the afternoon. When she returned, she found Sunny and Hitch were baking some cookies together. They were laughing and they saw Misty by the door. Hey, you're back, Misty. Wanna bake with us? Sure, it looks fun. Misty took off her scarf and her boots and walked to the kitchen to help. She saw that they had already made a few cookies. How was your dad today? Asked Hitch. He was doing well, just busy as always. It's good to hear, and hope that he will enjoy his holiday. I'm sure he'll do with Queen Haven. I can still not believe that your dad is dating Sip and Pip's mom, said Hitch. I can't believe it either. When I was told about it, I was a bit stunned. That I can bet you were, said Sunny. They were enjoying making the cookies together. Perhaps you can give some to your dad out of some of the cookies? That's not a bad idea. I will do that. After they finished the baking, Misty went back to her bed to read some more, and after she had read a few 2 chapters, she remained laying in bed. She thought of what her dad told her about the advice. The rest of the day, Misty thought of what her dad told her, and she told herself that she will wait for the best time to confess her feelings for Hitch. In the evening, Misty were playing cards with Zip while Sunny and Pip were talking and Hitch and Izzy were playing chess. The next day, when every pony had gone to bed, that night, Misty thought herself maybe to tell Hitch in a few days. The next day it was a nice day and at breakfast. Misty, you have any plans for today? Asked Pip. No, I don't have any plans. How about you come with me to the saloon today? Oh, you need any help there? Yes, but we do need some extra help. Okay, sure, I can help. Thanks, Misty. After breakfast, both Misty and Pip went to main melody, and it saw that Jazz and Rocky was busy. How can I help it? Well, we were expecting free packages at the post office. If you could get them for me? Of course, I can do that. Misty left and went to post office, and when she got there, it was a bit of a big line to the counter. It was about 20 ponies and ahead of her, and Misty could just go wait and stand there and just wait for her turn. After 15 minutes, it was Misty's turn. Hello, I'm here to pick up free packages for Pip pedals to main melody. Of course. Give me a moment, said the male pony. The male pony went back office to look around, and after about a moment, she came back with three medium-sized packages. Here you go. Thanks, and have a good day. You have a good day too. Misty walked back to main melody with the packages, and she put them down on the floor. Thanks, Misty, for getting it for me. It's not a problem. Is something else you need to? Yes, if you want to help Jazz with something while I put it in storage, I can do that. Misty walked over to Jazz, who was helping a customer. She was helping her with giving the shampoo and a towel in the end. Misty had a good time at the main melody. It helped her to keep her focus. After a few hours of working with Pip at main melody, Pip said that she could go home since they were getting ready to close the saloon for the day. Misty didn't go home right away. She used to walk around to look at the decorations and listen to some of the ponies singing songs. She got some of the hot cocoa too. She thought it would be nice if she could do this with Hitch. She thought to herself it was about time she did tell Hitch about her feelings. She walked back home to the bright house, and she looked around. She saw Hitch was in the living room with Sparky, just resting by the open fire. Hey, Misty, how did it go with helping Pip? It went well. It was fun, though. Where are the others? Sunny, Zip, and Izzy went out to have some fun in the snow, but I choose to stay inside here to warm up. You're not too much for the cold, I take it. I don't mind the cold. It's just not too much, you know what you mean? I know what you mean, though. Missy stood there and she took a deep breath and was ready to tell Hitch how she felt for him. Hitch, can I tell you something? Of course, you can tell me anything. What is it? Well, you remember when we were at Starlight Ridge, when we were ice skating together? Yes, I remember that. It was a fun time. It came to my realized that I have fallen in love with you. After Misty said that, it was absolute silent in the living room. Only the fire making a sound in the room. Misty could feel her heart was pounding so fast in her chest. She looked at Hitch, who was looking at her with a stunned face with big eyes. Since he didn't say anything back, Misty thought that he didn't like her back in the same way. She turned around and just ran out of the bright house with Hitch just sitting there on the couch, still stunned on what she said. And half an hour later, Sunny, Zip, Pip, and Izzy returned home. Sunny noticed something was off with Hitch. Hitch, are you okay? A question to Hitch. Can you hear me? What? Yes, I can hear you. What's wrong with you? You look like you've seen a ghost, said Zip. It wasn't anything like that. Where's Misty? I thought she came home after she left my saloon. She did came home and she ran off. The others looked at Hitch with their big eyes and shocked faces at him. What do you mean she ran off? Where did she go? Asked Sip. I don't know where she went, and the reason she that because of the confess her feelings for me. That made his friends froze up and out of shock, looked at each other like and back and Hitch. So she confessed her love for you, but then why she did run off? I think it's cause I didn't respond back to her by just looking at her. Now I think what happened. After she told you, you didn't respond with an answer. She might have thought that you didn't like her back the same way, and that broke her heart, said Sip. That might be the case, but where would you really start to look to find her? Said Pip. I don't need to look for her, said Sip. What do you mean, Sip? Asked Sunny. I believe I already know where she is, and I will go there just by myself. Don't worry. Before the others could say anything, Sip left the building and flew all the way to Brownwood. She landed outside the tea shop. She walked in, looked around, and by the counter, she saw Misty with her dad. Sip took a deep breath and walked up to the counter, and at first, Misty didn't notice that Sip had entered the building. So this is where you were, said Sip. Sip, how do you know I was here? And is others here too? It was a feeling I had, and now the others are back in Maritime Bay. I came here alone. I assume you know why I ran away? Sip just nodded and sat next to Misty, and Alphabella gave her a cup of tea. Misty sat there in silence. Misty, it might be worth if you talk to your friend. I will be over there if you want to talk. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate it. Sip too looked at Misty and saw that she had been crying. So you're in love with Hitch? Yes, I'm in love with him. He's just so handsome, amazing. I think he doesn't like me. Truth is, Misty, is that he was just stunned when you told him. And that he was like in a shock. That's why he didn't say anything back. Really? You think he likes me though? It's possible that he likes you. At that moment, Sip's phone was ringing, and she saw it was Sunny that was calling her. Hey, Sunny. Sip, did you find her? Yes, I find her, and she was on the spot that I thought she would be. Hey, Sunny, sorry about that though. Misty, it's okay, we're just worried about it. And I think there's someone here who wants to tell you something. Sunny viewed her phone to Hitch, who was looking red in his face since he was blushing. Come on, tell her, Hitch, said Hitch to Sunny. I was just frozen in shock what you told me. I didn't know what to respond. I'm sorry if I made you so sad. I didn't mean it. I do have a crush on you too, Misty, said Hitch. Misty was surprised. And she was looking a lot when she heard that. Is it for real? Yes, it's for real. Ever since I tried to Starlight Ridge, I started to feel attracted to you. If you want, maybe we can go out with me. Yes, I would love to go out with you. That's great. And we'll be back soon, said Sip. Sunny nodded and ended the call, and Sip paid for the tea, and she and Misty returned home to Maritime Bay. When they were close to Bright House, she could feel how her heart was pounding so fast. But she didn't stop walking. When she walked in, she saw her friends standing there, including Hitch, who was still blushing so red. I think we should give them some privacy. I don't want to see it happen, said Pip. No, come along here, Pip, or I will drag you in your tail away. Fine, I will come along with you. They all went upstairs, and they took Sparky with them. At first, Hitch and Missy stood there in a silence which felt like an eternity. I'm I'm so sorry about it before. I should have even reacted differently. No, it's okay. And I understand, though. You really like me that much? Yeah, I do. Since you're so good with Sparky and handsome, I fell for you. Thanks. I appreciate it. You still want to go out with me? Hitch stepped closer to Misty with a smile, and she smiled back at him. Yes, I still want to go out with you. We can go out until tomorrow if you want to. I will laugh at though. Rest of the evening, Missy spent most of her time since she was so excited about her date with Hitch the next day. She couldn't get much sleep due to the fact of her excitement of her first date ever. The next day, Sonny promised Hitch that they would look after Spark in the meantime while he and Misty were on their date. Misty was still so eager and nervous about her first date with Hitch. Hitch had told them to call him if it was an emergency. Sonny promised they would do it. Both Hitch and Misty left the Bright house, and they were in a silence due that they were nervous about their first date together. How would we go to a diner and get something to eat? It sounds like a good idea, said Misty. They went to a diner and ordered a soup for lunch, and both were having a good time. They talked about their adventures and had a good time together. Afterwards, they left the diner and they walked around in the snow listening to some ponies singing. Hitch noticed an ice rink and he got an idea. If Misty wanted to do some ice skating with him. You want to do some ice skating with me? Yes, I would like it very much. They went to the ice rink and bought some ice skates and started enjoying the time in ice skating, and Misty felt so happy in her heart. This was a true dream that came true. After half an hour, they chose to walk around some more before going back home. They stopped by a stand to buy some hot cocoa. What do you think of our date so far? I actually have a good time. I'm having a good time too, and I'm glad that you have a good time too. Afterwards, they went back to Bright House, where their friends did ask them how the date went, and if they were officially dating. Both of them looked at each other with a blushed face. Yes, we are an official couple now. That's great to hear, said Sunny. The rest of the day, Hitch and Misty had a good afternoon while playing with Sparky. Misty felt so happy in her heart. A few days later, it was the end of the big day. Every pony was looking forward to open their gifts, and at noon, Misty walked up to Zip. Hey Zip, can you do me a favor? Sure, what is it, Misty? If you can take me to Bridlewood on Midstream, so that I can give my dad this gift and the cookies I made for him? Of course. I will get ready. We'll leave in a few minutes. Misty got to the door and waited. And she got ready, and later Zip went with her to Bridlewood, and the tea shop was closed for the holiday. So they went to her dad's house. He was so surprised to see Misty there. Misty, what are you doing here? I came by to give you this gift and some cookies I made for you, Dad, with help from Hitch, my boyfriend. I'm glad you found some ponies, sweetie. Happy holiday. Open your gift, Dad. Apple Barrel opened his gift, and so there was a book of new tea flavors and a few bags of tea flavors that Misty thought that he and Haven will enjoy. Apple Barrel started to cry when he saw this gift, and he looked at her with tears-filled eyes. This is a lovely gift, Misty. Thank you. I love it. I love you so much. I'm glad you like it, Dad, and happy holidays. I promise to be back soon. Half a barrel and Misty shared a hug, and she and Zip went back to Mere Stream and flew back to Merton Bay. They arrived just in time as the others were about to play some games together. The rest of the day, they enjoyed the food, listened to Sunny's reading a story based on the holiday. Misty sat next to Hitch while she was listening to Sunny reading. She was leaning against his shoulder, for this was the absolute the best winter wish day she'd now having the right spirit for the dead holiday and not anymore. Misty was quite happy and to be together with Hitch. She was happy now she went to see her dad and that she did listen to her heart. Later in the evening, before every pony went to sleep, Misty was standing by the window next to her bed, looking out at the falling snow. It's a lovely evening, isn't it? Misty turned around and saw it was Hitch, who walked up to her with a smile. It is a lovely night and evening, and when the full moon makes it all more magical feeling, it sure makes it all more magical. I'm happy to celebrate the holiday with you, especially with you, Hitch. Misty smiled at him, and he smiled back at her. She leaned against him, and both stood there for a little bit longer before giving each other a good night kiss and said good night to each other. Misty lay in her bed, and she felt so happy in her heart and smiling. She thought herself that she could have been more happier to be with Hitch. She would not change this for anything in the world. It didn't take long for her to fall asleep with a smile on her lips. The end.